So, good
Yes,
evening again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Tonight, we will be talking about something every leader eventually realize is other than just giving instructions, and that is motivating people. So people can be managed temporarily, but true success as a leader happens when people are motivated internally. So whether it's at work or at home, or even in a Toastmasters club, it could be within our family, right? Leadership is not just something that it's getting things done, it's about inspiring people to want to contribute. And as leaders, understanding what motivates people can help us change how we communicate, how we lead teams, and how we build relationships. Okay. So tonight we're going to explore what motivates people, how leaders can create motivating environments, and how recognition and support can bring out the best in others, especially our team members. So, one of the biggest mistakes leaders can make is assuming that everybody is motivated by the same things. Individuals are motivated by different things, some of them goals and motives, some personality characteristics, but trust me, there's so many things that motivate people because people are different. Some of us are motivated by recognition, others by growth, majority of us by money, flexibility, growth, learning opportunities, or just the feeling of being appreciated, right? In the work environment, it can be work-life balance, the list goes on and on. And there are also people too that are motivated entirely by snacks at the office. I remember my office, they do this like once in a while. There's actually one tomorrow, because of the break coming on. But people get motivated by some of these things, which is okay, right? Personality too also matters. Some people are naturally ambitious, others are competitive, others value stability and connections. And that's an effective way for leaders to get to understand people individually instead of using this one size fits all strategy and approach that a lot of leaders use. So once we understand what drives people, the next step is learning what actually motivates them. And that brings us to our motivators, which number one is money. People also take praises. Some people like praises. They like public recognition. Some of them, weird enough, is more responsibility. You give them more responsibility and they have this self fulfillment, right? Most is also promotion. So there are many things, like I said, that motivates people, and this can vary from persons to persons or environment to environment, right? Um, then we have the motivators, right? This is just kind of like how to encourage team members to use their natural skills and their natural abilities. During a project that I led some time ago, um, in what was that? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to use my personal experience. So I remember when I was moving from Calgary to Edmonton, I did share the speech in class, right? So I did say I involve my kids, and in that process, I get to understand their personalities. My daughter, I realized, was very, very creative when it comes to packing stuff. My youngest was very organized, weirdly enough, right? And my oldest communicated well because at that time, I needed somebody to communicate. So instead of just forcing the three of them to do the same thing, I actually assigned responsibility based on their strengths. And the result was honestly less frustration, better teamwork, and higher confidence. So when people feel capable, they become motivated naturally. So good leadership, right? Good leaders don't just assign tasks. they recognize potentials. So now, even when people are motivated and well positioned, right, leaders still have one important responsibility, which is rewarding properly. So rewards can be issued immediately, right? Reward can be given to desired behavior. We don't want to reward undesirable behaviors, right? And those undesirable behaviors should be addressed immediately as well, right? So it's just cut, nipped at the board, or just kind of like stopped, um, affecting the rest of the team, right? Recognition is very powerful, but it has to be timely and consistent. So when somebody does something well, it's good to acknowledge it quickly because delay appreciation can lose the impacts. Something happens and you're recognizing it a month later, it's gonna be like, wow, we're still talking about this. So it just kind of like lose the impact that it's supposed to make at that time, right? So move to the conclusion. So yes, so that is what motivating other people actually is, right? So in conclusion, there's this quote from John Quincy Adams, yes. If your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And at the end of the day, motivating people is not about control. It's about creating an environment where people feel valued, people feel capable, they feel inspired, and they feel trusted, right? So great leaders understand that motivation is deeply personal. And when leaders take time to understand people, they recognize, their efforts, they remove the obstacles, they encourage growth, and the team in general will thrive. So, there's another quote I want to leave us with by the same author, John Quincy Adams. It says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you're a leader. I think it's the same thing, yeah. And I believe that it's the kind of leader every one of us has the ability to become. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.